Welcome everyone. This is Alice Bull and I blog at scrapbookwonderland.com once in a while. And I also run the ScrapHappy membership group. And if you want to connect with me online, that's totally the place because I love my ScrapHappy sisters and we just have the best times. So one thing that I love to do every month is the Scrapbook Live event. And for me, it's a chance to actually sit down. It's a scheduled time to sit down and scrapbook because it's so easy to let scrapbooking become something that we want to do, something that we shop for, but don't necessarily actually do stuff with the products. And I really am excited that I kind of have you for my accountability partners, just so you know. And I think that's great. So let me be your accountability partner too. And let's do some scrapbooking together. So that's the goal here today. I use a kit when I do these sessions. And the kit that I'm using is from a company called the Wild Hare Kits. I order these kits myself. I pay for my own kit. They're custom curated. So you actually fill out a style profile and you get to pick the types of things that you like, and then you kind of get this lovely little surprise. So it's like the best of both worlds because it's not just random surprise. So for example, like my style, like I've mentioned, I like a little bit of bling and sparkle. I like glitter. Like I'm one of those people, give me some pink, but some people, that's not their thing. They like distress. They're more into design companies like Graphic 45. And this allows the curator, Allison Gerling, to actually custom make a kit that's designed in your style. So I think that's really fun. And I will show you what's in my kit this month. So in here, there's like a list of all of the products. This is the deluxe kit, which is the large one. And in here, it says, "Hi Alice, this month I focus on bright, spring-inspired colors to help coax it out of Alberta with neutral themes that work for a variety of projects. I hope you love the turquoise, corals, cool blues, and bright primary colors in the pattern papers. I think you'll love the tickets on the Maggie Holmes Always paper, but it might be a hard choice between that side and the fabulous wood grain. Everyone is really into the gorgeous epoxy hearts and gold flecks from the Let Your Heart Decide collection, and I can't wait to see you use those. I know you requested geometric prints, and since I didn't include many cut-aparts, I sent a few geometric print 6x6 sheets this month. Enjoy, Allison." So that's her response to the things that I selected. And my things that I select is that I don't want stamps. I have like a ton of stamps here behind me that get a little bit used. Joy says, "Fabulous wood grain." Exactly. So I select no stamps and no buttons. I'm not like a real big button person, but yeah, I've got a variety of lovely things to play with. So I'll show you quickly, try to be quickly, try to keep it short, what's in the kit that I received. And like I said, they're custom. So when you fill out your profile, you're not going to get the same thing. And the great thing is that they're not a kit that you sign up and you're getting kits every month unless you want them. So you can sign up and you have to go in and order another kit. So you can kind of order based on the time period that works for you, rather than, say a monthly kit and you're like, well, I only scrapbook twice this month or only once this month. So yeah, here we go. So in here, this is some puffy stickers from the Pick Me Up collection from Pink Paisley and Paige Evans. Look how cute those are. I love there's like a heron in there and there's like cute little camera. So some cute little pieces for that. In here from the Pink Fresh, it's called BU, and there's like mini leatherette tags. They kind of have copper little rings on them. So I don't know if you can see the actual texture, but they look like leather. You can see that texture on there. Yeah, so that's really fun. Also from the Pick Me Up collection from Pink Paisley, there's a packet of die cut pieces called Journaling Spots. I really like this because sometimes you just want to add a few little notes. And yeah, just look how cute that is. And like at that little watermelon, oh my gosh, I don't have a picture for a watermelon right now, but I think it's wonderful. Becca says, "I love the Wild Hare Kit. I ordered 3 kits this month." Oh my gosh. You're they're just excited. Well, you obviously are using your stuff, right, Becca? That's good. Also in here, there are some sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. These ones are called Authentic You. And oh my gosh, so there's like golden stars. There's teal kind of aqua colored sequins. There's some round ones that are like super tiny. And then there's round ones that are kind of hollow. And then there's some navy pieces and some kind of peachy corally pieces and a couple that are like kind of just iridescent and kind of clear. So I'll show you the collection of sequins. Those are lovely. And then keeping with the fact that I love sparkle, lovely glitter alphas. This alpha is called Shine On. They're thickers. And okay, so I'll show you this. They're nice gold, but when you look at them from the side, they kind of have a mint tone to them. And I know I'm gonna have these out of the packet at some point, so let me take them out right now so I can show you from the side. Can you see how they're kind of minty along the side? Oh, they're so pretty. So I love that. Oh, hilarious. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I'm not a button person. I might have to change my mind. So there's a Pick Me Up from Pink Paisley Haberdashery, which is like a collection of little bits and bobs, right? So in here, there are some little buttons that are super adorable that I could actually see myself using. Some sequins, and then there's some epoxy pieces. Oy, so nice. And I just love Paige Evans stuff. It's so bright, it's so colorful, and just super pretty. Becca says the first kit was for scrapbooking. The second kit, I'll ask to make it for my planner, and the third is for Project Life. So that's a plan. You got a plan for that stuff. Okay, so these are the hearts from the Let Your Heart Decide from Pink Fresh, the epoxy heart stickers that Allison had mentioned. Look how nice these are. I like that they're kind of like wonky shaped hearts, but they're not like super wonky shaped, right? They still have that heart shape to them. Natalie says, I love those hearts. Yeah, me too. And they have like super nice detail. Some of them have some gold. They're nice and shiny because they are epoxy. So those are cute. Also from Pink Fresh, there are some leatherette stickers. So these have some sweet little phrases on them, and they have some little books. Okay, so I totally sneak peeked, and I don't know if anyone saw this on my Instagram. I did an Insta story yesterday where I gave a little sneak peek of what was in the kit and said, hey, come join me tomorrow. And when I did my sneak peek, I noticed the books. So when I saw the books, I'm like, oh, I need to do a page about reading. I haven't done a reading page for a long time. And the funny thing is, I barely have time to read right now. I do more audio things like podcasts and stuff, but I totally wanted to tell a story about reading, and I have the sweetest picture, so I totally had to do that. So 6x6 papers, we've got a few of them here, and they do have lovely geometric prints. So they're one-sided, so I'll just hold up one side. This has a nice yellow, really soft pattern. I could totally do journaling on this, and that would be nice. I love this geometric print. It has like squares and triangles. Oh, just love that pattern so much. This has like speckles. It kind of looks like if you made this like the perfect shade of blue, it would look just like the speckles on a robin's egg. So Kathy is here. She says, hello from Camp Elam, Woodland Park, Colorado. Wi-Fi isn't strong, so she might not be fully participating, but she's scrapbooking with us in spirit. This is a cute little dot and line pattern. It is white, even though the color in here looks a little off. I don't know. I wonder if there's a way I can get better color. Maybe this needs to be pointed down a little more. Color should be good. It's totally daytime. I've got lots of natural light in here. This is a cute one with little flowers. And then nice teal one with a cool pattern on it. And, oh, I like this pattern too on a soft green. So Tori says, I'm doing some mixed media. Oh, is that Tori? Nice to see you, Tori. Welcome. And we have some 12 by 12 papers, and this one here is from Pink Fresh Studio, and this one has beautiful hearts all over it. Just look at how pretty that paper is. Like, this is already calling to me to be like, use this one, use this one. And the back has a nice pattern. Let me see what color that really is. It's hard to tell. So it's like it's almost a cross between a blue and a really dark green. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's showing up not too bad on there. This one is also from Pink Fresh. It's called Quirk, and it has books all over it. So this is the paper that I know I'm going to use at least some of for my 12 by 12 layout that I'm going to do. It kind of says, I love that first one with the hearts. Yeah, I do. And even this side, look at how it kind of looks like library books all stacked up, but totally you wouldn't have to do anything booky with it. That's nice. Ooh, the Maggie Holmes ticket paper. This is so cool. Oh, and the wood grain. I know. Oh my gosh. Karina says she's swatching her new gelatos. I just did that with my new watercolors the other day. I have my swatches and I've played with them, and they're so lovely. So this is the ticket paper from Maggie Holmes with crepe paper, and look at that nice wood grain. Oh, yep. And from Chamel's box of crayons. If you guys haven't seen Chamel's box of crayons, seriously, it's a gorgeous. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do is in the replay, I will link to my video of Chamel showing her box of crayons, because so nice. So I got to go and see all of her stuff. I got to go, yeah, Christy says, I love the box of crayon set. And on the back is this nice green dot pattern. And then this one here is from Pink Paisley. It has, like, I would say these are moths, but maybe they're butterflies. But that's super pretty paper. And I love the stripes on the back side. Allison says, you are such an enabler. She says that she's already purchased most of the box of crayons. Yeah, and I've seen you playing with it. So, you know, that's a good thing too. And then also from Chamel's box of crayons, we have a cut apart sheet, which I love. And on the back, it has lovely yellow dots. So totally into that. Tori says totally moths. I know it's moths, right? And I don't know, some people like moths. Last month I scrapbooked about moths and about my mother. Oh, right here, I'll show it. So this is the page that I made last month, and I used this moth paper from the Twilight collection from One Canoe 2. And yeah, I just recently told my mom about this. So I got an update because in my journaling, I said, my mom hates moths. I mean, really hates them. I've heard a story, and I don't know if it's true, that when she was young, some friends, I put that in quotations, friends, can you put some moths down her shirt? Can you just imagine? So gross. Can you imagine them fluttering? Gross. I also hate moths. They fly so random, but then they always seem to fly right at me. Maybe I shine brightly. LOL. I guess I'm just like my mother. And Tori says, I like moths when they're that pretty. I know. Yeah, like Paige can make anything pretty, even a moth. But I thought the page was really funny. But I told my mom about the page, and she said to me, it's true. They did put moths on my shirt, but they were not friends. So, and the way she said it, it was very definitive. So they were not friends that did that to her. And I think she's still holding that trauma. And that was from when she was young. Joy says yellow polka dot bikinis. Oh yeah, gosh, like that polka dot paper. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, so those are the products I'm going to be starting to play with, and from there I'm going to do I'll pull in other things that I decide that I need along the way, but that was what was in my kit. for this month, and I think it's like a really good mix of products. So I mentioned that I really had noticed that book paper, and it's so funny because I don't think of myself as a person that's inspired by products, but I totally am. And yeah, so when I saw this book paper, I was like, oh, I need to tell a story about reading. And I was scrolling through some old photos from my childhood, and I had seen the cutest photo um, of me and my cousin from when I'm little. So I do have my pictures all printed for the pocket pages that I'll do after. And but first I will do a 12 by 12 page. And in between the two, when I finish the 12 by 12 and before I start the pocket pages, that's when I'll do the draw for the free kit. So just so you kind of know the timing of that. I don't know exactly what time, but when I get this 12 by 12 done. So this is the picture that I'm working with today. And this is me on this side here, and this is my cousin. And I'm holding a book, sitting on that gorgeous wicker chair. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. But I totally remember, I have like memories of that chair from my childhood. And I'm holding a book, and like from looking at it, you know, because you got to examine it. And with barely seeing a little tiny piece of the cover, I know that it's King Midas and the Golden Touch. So I know what the book is. And I think that that's super fun because I loved that story so much. I couldn't stop thinking about how off, like, you know, at first you think touching everything and having it turn to gold is wonderful. And Brandy says, I had that chair. We had that chair. Yeah, we had that chair too. And touching everything, having it turn to gold sounds wonderful. But then at the same time, you think about that, and in the story, he touches his daughter and she turns to gold, and you know, it's just heartbreaking. And you know, thankfully there's like this lovely bit of redemption that happens at the end. But in the meantime, like, you know, he learns a valuable lesson that gold is not the most important thing. So life isn't all about money. And you know, it's in this lovely book. It's not Dr. Seuss, but it's like in those hardcover books that look just like the Dr. Seuss ones. So super sweet. Okay, so gonna have a look and see. Definitely, I think I'll use both of these pattern papers, these pink fresh ones. I want to use both of those. I love the hearts. I think that brings it in. And I just loved books. Like before I could read, I would, you know, flip through them obviously, and like I would pretty much memorize the stories. And when I was little, I had a little record player, and I would play the records, and you know, I knew those stories inside and out, but I would follow along with the words. And I swear that my reading became so much more fluent because of it. So when my kids did not want to read, oh my gosh, like how does a reader end up with kids that don't want to read? Like it was like, oh my gosh. Natalie says, oh, how I miss those books on record. Yeah, but how does a reader end up with kids that don't like to read? I swear, like how does that happen? It totally happened. And I think that for me, it was kind of torture. So I did everything I could to get kids to like books, and you know, we would do reading and stuff. But the thing that really helped my kids with fluency was audiobooks. We got audiobooks that were like things that they were interested in. And oh my gosh, it helped. I think we did the Hunger Games series through audiobooks. And like that's when they're older by then, right? Like but they just weren't into reading, and we were doing homeschooling. I'm like, they have to read. Come on, kids. So I'm just gonna cut the strips off of these papers first, because I know I'm gonna use these two. I don't know. I think I might do the hearts in the background and then use like a large piece of this with that. And I'm looking, and I could probably use one of these with some matting a little bit. I might cut the edges of the picture off just so I can get a little bit more matte in there. I could even probably do it square. You know, I got to leave some of that chair because, you know, it's classic. But Jenny says, I think it's a boy thing. I have two boys who don't like reading so much. It's so funny. My nephew, though, like total bookworm. Like, I bet you by his age, and he's like 19 now, I bet you he's read more books than I have. Like, total bookworm. And like that's saying something, although I don't read much anymore. It just time issues, right? And priorities. I do more scrapbooking and less sitting reading, right? So that means I get to catch up on Netflix though, you know, there's always an upside. So this paper and this paper are both really nice with this actually. That would give me some journaling. Oh, I have the cutest thing. Okay. And because I knew I was doing a reading one, so I recently got this set of dies. Look how sweet they are. Okay, so they're little metal dies. I've never used them. I just got them. And you make like a little book, and you can do like little layers and stuff to make a book. And I thought that might be kind of fun. And maybe I could do something with my title on the pages of the book, maybe, you know, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But I could definitely do something. And I think, yeah, because it's got like different little pages, like small pages. Would love to see this in progress. Well, yeah, well, we'll work on it. Sue says, audiobooks while scrapping, sewing, driving, doing chores gets me through more reading these days. My library has almost any audiobook I want to borrow. That's awesome. And our library will order things in, so they're good that way. But I get caught up in podcasts, right? And I haven't done as many books lately as podcasts. But I've found some new ones lately and I'm just loving them. Where did you get the book dies? I got them at an actual scrapbook store. I don't know if I know which one. It's got a paper sticker price tag on it. Oh, I know. It was at the Scrap and Bean in Edmonton. So that's where it was. And it's actually, it's not a company I really recognize here. It's called Spirit of Christmas. And here, I'll just show you the packaging. So that's what the packaging looks like. And Precious Marieke.nl/angel policy finditTrading.nl. So yeah, not something I'm super familiar with, but they had some fun ones, but they didn't have a bunch from this company. I think maybe they had a couple, but I loved this book. I just thought that was really fun and you could use it in some fun ways. Chrissy says, can make a collage of books read with those dies and do a layout. I know. I don't know if you can see in the background, way back by my printer, right? Where? There. So there's actually 2 stacks of books back there. And they're a bunch of books that I fell in love with from my childhood. And I want to like do something with those. But yeah, we'll see. There's always so many stories to tell, right? Like there's always more that you can do. And I think that that's a great thing. I'm never going to run out of stories. I look at this one picture and I could tell stories about me and my cousin. I can tell stories about, you know, just even reading that book. I can tell stories about, you know, how I love books, which is kind of, I think what I'll talk about mostly today. I can tell stories about that chair. Like it's just, there's so many possibilities. Okay, I kind of like this layering effect of this, just putting these 2 together like that. And that gives me a little bit of space. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that and that'll be my mat for this. That's something a little different. There's like a rough edge on this, so I'm just gonna trim like a tiny little hair off of this. And I keep a trash can sitting like right on my desk. It's cute. Well, it was cute years ago. It's rather old now. But I keep that sitting on my desk because you just kind of need to have somewhere to always put those little bits so they're not kind of getting in your way. So if you don't have something like that, you just might want to consider. There. So that's going to be good. And then I don't know how I want to lay it out yet. I think I want to cut out an actual book. The big one is too big. So I think if I use one of the smaller ones, maybe I should think about title. Or maybe I could do my journaling in that. Ooh, okay, I have an idea. I think what I could do is I could use a couple sizes of this, and I could do my journaling on some vellum sheets and then have them like layered on here, and you can kind of flip them and move them. Wouldn't that be pretty? Okay, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of vellum to cut that. Cool. Steve says I borrow from the and she borrows from the library, listens on her iPhone and Bluetooth speaker. That's a good way to do it. Okay, so I got some vellum, and just trying to see how big I can go with this. I think if I use this very large one, it would look nice because it gives you kind of like the page turning kind of imprint at the bottom. But I think I could use it as the background maybe. Oh, it's too big for this. I was hoping you could do it on that one. Darn. Okay. What else have I got in here? I have that pretty yellow. Oh, I'll have a hard time giving up that yellow to do that though. I was just reading this. It says, I'm sorry for what I said when I was hungry. Okay, so I think this area, I don't have a dog anymore. I don't have a cat anymore, and I probably wouldn't use that. So I think if I put my die on this section right here, I can use this without feeling too like much like I'm sacrificing something that I'm going to want to use. So I'm just going to trim this, and I'm going to make like the yellow dot piece as my background, and then I will layer my vellum pieces over top and on this side. Okay, is that too wide still to fit through there? Yes, yes it is. Okay. Good. So I kept the ones that I think I would probably use. I kept those ones intact, and I've got these other ones. And I'll put that on here. Run this through my machine. Oh, and I still kept it too wide. I didn't trim it down, did I? Don't want to trim off too much. That would be heartbreaking. I'd be like, what did I do that for? I've never done anything like that before. Be like, oh, I don't need to measure, because you know I like to think that I can just wing it sometimes, although I'm totally that gal that used to like measure like obsessively so that one thing was like exactly 1/4 inch from the side of the page and something else was exactly 3/8 of an inch from that side. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm relieved that I don't do that anymore. The sounds these things make creep you out. Okay, have a look. Oh, nice. Oh, so it cuts it like that, and your other pages kind of sit there. Oh, so cute. Okay, so that's gonna be good. Now it looks really big, right? It looks huge on this page because it's like bigger than my photo. Like literally bigger than my photo. But I think that I think it's gonna have so much impact that I just want to make sure, like, I'm going for it, right? Put that there for now. And ooh, it's got a little strip on it. I might want that. Let's cut this. How wide are these? 6 inches? Okay, so if I cut this in half, I'm good. And then I'll cut some pieces of this that go into different sizes. Okay. So when you're scrapbooking, I'd like to know, Chelsea says, I'm definitely into podcasts more, but I made a goal to read one book a month this year, and I finished number 3 last week. That's awesome. Means you're exactly on track. So that's pretty good. Okay, let's put this through. I tried it the other way. This one's still too big. And so, like, I know the shapes aren't like super hard to hand cut, but honestly, if I was trying to hand cut out the shape of a book, I'd have a hard time like coming up with something that looked as even as that. Not that it would be impossible, I tell you, but you know, just next to impossible. Okay, and I'll cut out some more. So, oh, what was I just saying? Oh, I was gonna ask, when you sit down to scrapbook, do you actually have a plan of what you want to do? Like stories you want to tell, or is there like a certain project that you're working on, or do you just kind of sit down and see what inspires you? I'm always curious as to, you know, the product or the process, I mean, to get there. Okay. And I'll do one more with the little one because I think I like the layering effect of these. Now, if I was really good, I would actually stitch this all together. I don't know if I'm that good. Let's see. Tori says, I just play. So she doesn't go in with like an intention. You can see I pretty much wing it. Like I'm very much hey, I just had this idea and that might be fun. So I tend to just wing it. But I also do keep a list of prompts of things that I want to tell, like things that I want to do. Let's see. Brandy says, whatever brings me joy, that's what I do. No plan. Joyce says, I love it when my supplies inspire me. Jenny says, sometimes a plan, like in load or in challenges, but other times I just look at their photos and see if I get inspired. That's usually where I look for inspiration is in my actual photos. So, you know, that this month and last month I was inspired by paper. And so I find that was really funny because like maybe that's something I should do a little more often because it seems to really be working for me. But I love that, you know, I see paper and it's like, it's not just inspiring like, oh, I should make a page. It's like actually inspiring a story that I want to tell. And so that's been kind of fun for me. Okay, this is like so cute, guys, like seriously. So I've got these layers of the vellum and I'm gonna crease them in the middle so that they bend up. And I think this is just gonna be the sweetest thing ever. You know, if you were doing like a Bible journaling thing and you wanted to add like some sweet little verses or something, like little flip through little quotes or whatever quotes that you inspire you. You could make a list of your favorite books. I can just think of a lot of ways to use this die and I'm like kind of excited. So how about today, the winner of the draw that we have today, in addition to getting your kit, if you give me your address, I will send you some cutouts. I can do them out of vellum or out of paper, and you can let me know if you'd like them out of like just like a white paper or out of stuff. And yeah, aren't they cute, Christy? She says, I love how those books came out. So I'll do that for the winner. I'll send you like in the mail actual cutouts of the pieces to make one of these for yourself. Cool? So, you know, just as a little bonus, because I think that'd be fun. Yeah, so these look great together. And I don't know about like sticking them. I really would like to sew them, but sewing and Alice, oh boy. Joy says, bonus. Well, I just think that's nice. And like, you know, the die set kit, I don't know if you guys saw the price when I was holding it up earlier. It was $25 for the die. You know, like that's not an expensive dye compared to some of them. Like I know that's in Canadian dollars, so if you're in the US, it's maybe not as bad, but you know, that's still pretty considerable. And you think like how much distance do you get out of your dyes, right? I don't even know if I have like string or anything on my desk. It's like that's how often I sew, guys. Okay, I really do want to put some string on this, so I'm gonna go grab some string. I'm not gonna stitch it with my sewing machine. That could just like be total disaster. That's it. I was so impressed with Alice's kit that I just signed up for one of my own. And like, I'm not getting like a kickback or anything. Like the only benefit that I get is like I order pay for my own kit. Allison just provides one for free for this. So, you know, that's the whole like transparency. Okay, it's not quite white, but it's cream and it's like, I think it's close enough. So that'll be good. And now we'll see how good my I am not a sewer. Let's just that will become a very apparent very soon. Ooh, where's my little stabby stabber? That usually is in this box. Oh, it is good. Okay. So, and if you're wondering about the whole stitching thing, okay, I've been looking at those Paige Evans stuff, you know, all as I'm looking at the kit. So she sews on like everything and it's always gorgeous. And I'm like, how does she have the patience for it? But the other person that's inspired me, and I had just watched a tutorial video a couple weeks ago that did some cool like book stitching stuff, and that was Tori Bissell, who's here today. So you know, thanks for the inspiration, Tori. She does like these mixed media books. Oh, so great, so great. Oh, guys, look what I found. Those little mini, like little tiny Tim Holtz scissors. Like, oh, they're so sweet. Yeah, I wanted those since I saw that they made them, and I finally saw them in a store, and I'm like, oh, mine. So, because I have like the big red handled ones, and they're wonderful. Okay, now if I'm doing this wrong, you'll have to just ignore it because like I'm so not a sewer. Oh, see, I've already messed up because I've already made my thread fall out of my needle. Okay. Oh, I think I'm gonna want this stuff coming tied to the back. Although I think I'm gonna have to put it through a few times. Okay. So stitching, there we go. That is something I have not done on one of these scrapbook lives. Any kind of stitching. I've lost my needle again. Really good at this, but that doesn't mean I can't try, right? Like everybody, well, I have a couple friends like that might be here. Deetra, are you here? Christy, are you here? That have seen how bad I really am when it comes to stitching stuff. We took a class a couple years ago and I've managed to really botch this up. What did I do? I might have to like unstitch this and restart. I've got a stitch that's gone right over the edge. Oh, there we go. It's a little better. Yeah, we took a class with Stephanie Ackerman at one of the ScrapHappy reunions. This is before when Lane was running the ScrapHappy group. And Stephanie Ackerman came and we were doing this lovely little stitching book. Oh, I wonder where that is. Probably sitting here somewhere. And, you know, I tried. Like, I really tried. Lucy says, you obviously just need more practice, Alice. Joyce says, I refuse to ignore your sewing antics. But, you know, it's, yeah, it's not pretty. I get it. So here we go. It's going to be super cute, and I'll be happy I did it in the end. But yeah, as you look at it now, you're like, oh boy, Alice, my eyes are bleeding. Okay, so, and I did some horrible knotting, and hopefully it'll all stay in place. And there we go. I didn't stitch it to the back because I was like a little bit worried about everything. So now I'm still gonna have to adhere it onto here, but I think that I'll use a little bit of tape and it'll be fine. Sewing has no bling. You need, Joy, if you had said that like 5 minutes ago, I have seriously like the most blinged up thread ever. It's like holographic and stuff. Like it's amazing. I know, but it's like this different thing I've not done. I like to show something a little different. Like, you know, we've pulled out the fuse tool. I haven't done any die cutting on here, so it was like well past time to do some of that. And let's see, where's that tape? There we go. Here's some of it. Score tape. I'm just gonna stick it down with score tape right along the seam. It'll be awesome. But yeah, I have this beautiful shiny thread that is really quite bling. Okay. Overall, I'm still super impressed. This looks like it actually worked and it doesn't look awful. I didn't wreck it. So it might not be pretty, it's not done pretty, but it's like done and it's not awful. Natalie says Tori is an amazingly awe-inspiring sort of muse. Agreed. And, and oh no, Lucy's giving me homework, stitching on everything for the next month since I need more practice. It'll be like my least productive month ever. I'll be like, oh yeah, I just didn't get any pages. As long as it's not a load month. Let's not let it not be a load month. So here we go. So here's my little book with my little pages, and I love that you'll be able to see kind of through there and you can flip through the pages since I actually sewed, which is going to be sweet and adorable. But I don't know if I'll like have writing on all of the pages or just on the top. You know, I don't know. I'll figure that stuff out yet. Joyce says, do you ever ink or chalk the edges? I used to, but I'm really not into distressing. I just find that unless something really looks like you can't see the edges between the two things. So instead of inking and chalking, I try to go with things that have definite styles. So when I layer things together, I like to look and see how the patterns are mixing. I actually wrote a blog post quite a while back, and it's one of my most popular blog posts, and it's talking about using multiple pattern papers, because you can see I like pattern papers. I love it. I like putting it all together. You know, people talk about white space, but to me, white space is pattern paper. Like it's like the not busy part of your pattern paper. Jenny says, I may have to watch the replay to see how your book turns out. I have to leave in a few minutes. They're going to dinner theater. Well, that's nice. So it says semi-passable. Yeah. But I like to mix the pattern paper. So when you have patterns like this one here, this blue has such a small, like insignificant kind of not standout pattern. So it really acts like a solid, right? When you look at that. And this one here has a little bit more pattern, so it's a little bit busier. And these ones definitely are busy patterns, but you'll notice that the paper that I chose for the back of my book, which is gonna go onto a busy pattern, is kind of like another one that's kind of like a solid. So even though it has that, the polka dots on it, like it's yellow on yellow polka dots, right? So I like having that mixing of the pattern papers. And I think that in my mind, I find ways to turn some of the pattern papers into like a solid in my mind, so that you still are breaking up the patterns so that you don't have crazy pattern next to crazy pattern, because it makes your eyes go nuts. But when you're doing the two things together. So yeah, I think And we'll see what I mean as we move into this, as I start doing the layers here. Okay, so I've got this and this. Got a long picture, contemplating square, but I think I don't want square, unless I need it for the layers. Okay. Well, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna put these together now. And they're gonna sit like that. Oh, so the Urban Scrapbook store, there's like 4 scrapbook stores I go to in Edmonton, 3 that I get to a little bit more than 1 because it's a little further away. They ordered in this glue dot adhesive tape runner. I'm super excited. I've wanted it for a while and they got it in for me, so I'm like really pumped. Because it's like, yes, I wanted to play with this for a while. I just love and trust Glue Dots as an adhesive company. And I think that now that they make a tape runner, I'm like, I'm on board. I want it. So I'm gonna put these papers together. So as I'm putting these together, I'm kind of making sure that this part and this part are the same width. And that's kind of the only thing I'm really worrying about there, other than trying to sort of make it straight. I can use the pattern on it to kind of make sure I've lined it up right. And then I'll have the spot to put my photo. Okay, so put this down. Cool. And I know I'm going to use some of this, but for now I'm just going to work on this background because that's going to be my base. This is going to be my base paper. So for a lot of people now, when you see like those white papers where the white background and everything like that, I kind of just consider this like my white background. And like that might sound like really crazy because this is definitely not just a plain white background, but you know, I try to find ways to layer everything on top of it so that it makes its own, so that those layers are talking to each other and that this one still just becomes like kind of a neutral base. Yay, Chelsea says that she's scrapbooking along with me on a page that she started this morning and she just finished. Yay, that's awesome. Round of applause for Chelsea. So there, I've got this here. This is gonna layer over top of that. And you can kind of see how when you have the crazy patterns, as long as you have like the neutrals to kind of mix them up, they still kind of work when they talk to each other. So hopefully that's making sense. And then I'm gonna layer in a piece of this book paper. So I want this up here. I've got my main photo going up in this top corner because I think I'll put some journaling on here. I think I'm going to put my title up in here, I think. We'll see. Yeah. And I like that. Now I just want to see how much of this I need. I could totally use this for another page. Oh, and this has cute little tropical plants and stuff on it too. That's cute. It's got like really like those little prism, like what do you call those things? Like they're like a table decoration, but they're like these wire or metal prisms, like this, like what you see around that one little plant. Yeah, around this plant right there. Does anybody know what those things are called? Because I think they're super beautiful, but I've like kind of held off from buying one. Okay, so I want it to be like about yay big. I'm going to cut off right at this line in between a row of books. And that way this piece, I think, will work for something else that I want. Yeah, I like that. And stuff right here. So I just put a mark with my fingernail and I can see that on my guide here and trim that off. We got this piece that's going over here. This is gonna overlap it. This is gonna overlap here. And yeah, that looks good. I like it. That's good. Got a little space for journaling. And you know, like if I decided that I needed more space for journaling, I could always add more pages into my book, right? You know, I'd have to do more sewing, but you know, it's totally a possibility. Beth says it's a terrarium, but you can put anything in it. Yeah, I've seen some that are just like decorations that you put onto a desk that don't have terrarium kind of aspects to them too. And they're super pretty, but you know, I kind of finished decorating my house and now I sort of told my husband that, you know, I'm done decorating and that I'm not buying more stuff. So basically the only way I'm avoiding buying more things to put in my house, because I love that so much, is by not going into stores. Okay, this looks great. So I do have like this crazy pattern on top of this other crazy pattern, and I'm not super loving that. So now this is where I'm going to talk about that. Okay. So right now, if I just leave this and stick this down as is, I've got crazy book pattern on top of crazy heart pattern, not working. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually put a layer of color in between those two. I don't know if this is, no, that's that other paper. Those work together, but ooh, I could definitely do, oh, it's super nice. Okay, I'm gonna use a wood grain. It's gonna use up a lot of my wood grain, but it's gonna look good, so I'll just do it. So I'm just gonna mat this just a little bit with my wood grain, which is a lot of wood grain for just a little tiny bit, but that's okay. Paper, right? I'll buy more. If I like it, I'll buy more. Joyce is the fabulous wood grain. I know, it is fabulous. Like, okay, so now I've created like this little frame around this piece. It creates like the little bit of division between those layers. And I don't have like crazy pattern on crazy pattern. I've got like that little bit of divide. It looks so much better. I've got this for on here and I've got space up in there. Okay, I'm gonna stick those down now. And I can stick this down too. Yeah, no, I think paper pattern mixing has become like one of the things. I think I find putting multiple crazy papers together is like a challenge. And you'll notice like these papers, like both of these papers are from the same company, but I like them both and I want to use them both. So why would I, you know, why not? Right? Like, why not? So we'll line this up. That looks good right there. Just kind of getting spacing of everything. I've got my book to add here. And so I just looked and like here looks good, but just slightly over top of the photo, just a little touch, right? So I'm just touching the corner. It just looks that little bit better. It just kind of helps to make everything touch, which I love. Tori says, why use one paper when you could use 2 or 3 or 4? And Joy had gone to the expo and she took one class. She drove there and back in one day. An art anthology canvas class. Super messy fun. Cool. And so after I've got these bones of the page done, I can start to consider my title. I'd like something playful for a title. I'm really terrible at titles. And one of the things I have to say, if anybody has a great idea for a title, like totally share title ideas. So it's about reading, and you know, I could tell both stories. I could tell how I loved to read as a child, and I could tell the story of the Midas touch, you know, like it's kind of like all good. The door is wide open for me on journaling for this page. So if there's a good idea, I'm all ears. So these are little floppy little pages. I love that little bit of texture they add to that. That's super nice. I want to add my title up here, and then I can add little embellishments. Okay, so I've got these epoxy hearts. I've got these little leatherette pieces. Scraps of paper, let's put over here. And there's like these leatherette tags. I've got like these little pieces. Ooh. I don't know if I'll have sequins on this page. I can't see that at this point, but I might have something here that's just great. And I like the idea of using these sparkly letters. Reader, pumpkin eater. No, she said bookworms. I like that, Tori. That's what Fancy Scrapper. I cannot remember. I can never remember who you are, Fancy Scrapper. I like Tori's idea. Bookworms. I like bookworms because she's holding a book too, even though we can't exactly see what book it is, but we know that she's holding one. So, and you know, she's much littler than I was. I think she's a year and a half younger than me. And I don't know that I was reading at this point. Like I look, what, 5? I don't know. So probably not reading, let's be real. But you know, that doesn't mean that I can't be a little bookworm. Okay, well, I'm gonna line that up on my ruler because that's what I like to do. Oh, did I put it? Where did I put my rulers? I had them out. I knew I was gonna need them, so I brought them out. Okay, here they are. Okay. So these are really big letters to put on here. I'm wondering if I need smaller letters. I'll see how big it is. If I don't like it, I can always pick out some different letters. But I love that little bit of mint that you see, so that'd be fun to have on here. So we'll try to use these. Bookworm babies. Was that your reading chair? I think it was just kind of a chair that we loved, and I think that my mom liked to put that chair in the background of photos. She kind of felt like that was like a staging chair for doing that. I like that, bookworm babies. I know that's cute too. Let's see. So this is good. This page come together like really well. No, I don't think it's going to be too big. I think this is looking good. I could always use a different similar like gold sparkle one to put babies in down here. That could be really cute. Lucy says, if you're a bookworm, you could have been reading at 5. I was reading at the age 7 to 8 year old of a 7 to 8 year old by 5. I know. I remember sitting in school and they would have each kid read a line from a book in class. And hi, Nadine. And I remember sitting in class and being that kid that was like, why don't you just let me read? Because that kid can't read. Not like thinking about the fact that that kid needs to learn to read, of course, but just being super frustrated that the teacher's letting that kid read again. Like, and I just totally remember being the kid. Maybe that's my story for this page. I don't think I've told that one yet. Let's see. Oh, Jane says, Becky, I'm impressed that you can scrapbook with a cat on your shoulder. Can we see Becky? That's hilarious. I totally hadn't seen that. That's awesome. Oh, so good. And it's funny because my cousin that's in this photo, her name's Rhonda, she actually has put me on to some different books from now and then too. So she's not like a huge reader. She's like, I like to read for fun. And yeah, so she's inspired me to read some super fun books from time to time too. So I love that we still have that. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Okay, this got a little bit low. Let me move that up a little touch. Okay, good. Bookworm, and I really like the idea of doing the babies, but in a different font. So, gold. I have it in my travel bag. No, I think I've only got shiny gold in there. I know I've got more gold letters. I'll be right back. It's the Cousins Book Club, pretty much, yeah. Okay, here we go. These ones are like different size, and I think that will just look really good on there. Ooh, yeah. But spaghetti cat, no, I didn't hear about memes that spaghetti cat had died. No, I don't know if I know who spaghetti cat is. I know who that ugly cat is. There's like that, grumpy cat, not ugly cat, grumpy cat. Like that one I know of, but maybe yes, yeah, good. Oh, I better look really quick to make sure I have the actual letters. That wouldn't be very good. Oh, I have another packet of them here, so I'm good. So let's get these in here. And yeah, I like the alliteration with the babies. That's super sweet. Okay, I'm gonna put that on right here. No, do I want it there? Ooh, okay. Okay, let's have opinions. I'll take opinions on this. So I've got my words. Do I want them lined up here so that they kind of line up with the edge of that? Do I want to bring them in so they're kind of more under the center of the photo, the edge? Do I need to, they won't really fit right there. They're too big. So I think maybe just touching the edge on down there. Yeah, I think that's my spot. Opinions. Let's see. I like the right edge by the edge. Okay, good. On the bottom right, somebody said bottom right. In the center, like centered under the photo. I think going here will allow me to put some embellishment in here. I'm definitely putting embellishment in, but I think because the embellishments aren't gold, I think it'll be maybe better to put it there. I don't know. Because like I've got these lovely hearts, and I think this is gonna work better because we'll be able to read the words on the side. But if I put the let's see, if I put the hearts and stuff off to the side, they're gonna be a little bit less stand outish because they'll be on that busy paper. But this way I can bring them over into the area where the paper is a little more muted. Okay. Mixing paper. Okay. Post. Okay, I'll share that on the replay page too. Okay, so that's the title on there now. And I've got some lovely little hearts and leather things. Oh, I like this one that says you and me. That's sweet. Okay. In this moment, I love a good story. There's one that says I love a good story. Okay. Okay. Beth says the edge is better because it was too close to the book. And Dion said under the photo on the right. Okay, so like we got it. We got it. So I love a good story, and we're reading books. Like, guys, I totally didn't even see that. Like, it makes sense because, you know, it's got books and everything, but it's just lovely. Like, I love it when they do all my hard thinking for me. Keyboard Cat, oh, that's the one. Oh, Joy said Piano Cat was a pioneer of meme. The video based from maybe 9 years ago. Not Spaghetti Cat. That was the spoof from the Soup Piano Cat. Oh my gosh, like memes are crazy, and one thing can lead to another thing, and like it's so great. Ooh, I think I need a little spot. I'm gonna see if I have a spot that I can put underneath this. I want to put the little leatherette books on here because they're so cute, but I want them to kind of like pop up here a little bit maybe. So we'll see. Maybe one of these little things will have a nice, because they're for journaling, they also make a great base for extra embellishments, right? Okay, some of these are really little. Oh, this one's good. And my books could pop up on there. Oh, so cute. Yes, that's perfect. Okay. And I think I actually will pop that up. Actually, now that I stuck this one down, I kind of want it popped up too. Of course, you know, let's stick it down first and then decide what you're going to do. I don't know why I don't have any of these open. I probably have them all in my travel bag. But okay, I bought them to use them. So yeah, this is good. This is working out good. I think I can use the slightly thicker one for that. Yeah, so that's good. So we talked about mixing pattern a lot here today. Ooh, this is like, did I stick it down? Is it like permanent? Maybe on the photo? It's okay. As long as I don't wreck the rest of the photo, I can layer it right on top of where I stuck it. So I just want it popped up. I think it's gonna be cute. There we go. Okay, and then this one's gonna be down, and then I'll pop the embellishment on top of it. Like, look how cute this is. It has little gold like foil stuff on it, and that's from the Paige Evans kit. And it's like a pale pink-ish blush. It's like barely any color, but it works totally good on here. And I can pop these little books up on top with a little bit of foam tape. I think maybe I do need the thin one for that. And okay, so we talked lots about mixing patterns today. We talked about your inspiration, kind of like when you sit down, like how do you choose what you're gonna do? We've got a lot of people that wing it in here, with a few people that have plans. So you're not you're still being represented, even if you're a planner. That's good. It's funny. I love the whole planner thing. I love the idea of it. I have the hardest time decorating a planner. I'm like, this should be easier because there's no commitment to story and all that other stuff. So I don't know why it's not easier for me. I somehow have created myself a little mental block on it. But you know, when it comes down to it, if I have to choose between spending time to decorate my planner and spending time to decorate my scrapbook pages, I kind of have to choose scrapbook pages, right? Oh my gosh, that is so cute. So I popped that leatherette one up on there. Look how sweet. Like just this whole, this paper line from Pink Fresh is like super great. Here we go. I'll put that on there. I love a good story. And you can use that phrase in so many different ways. Oh my gosh, that's good. And I don't think I want the little doodads. Oh, I do kind of like this one though. No, I think I want to see if I can use a heart instead. I think I'd like that better. Okay, so to bring my hearts off of the background so they're not just all completely lost in the background, I'm going to bring out some of these. This one here says story right on it, so that's going to be perfect for right there. There's like little tiny ones. I'd like to bring a little tiny one. Let's see which color needs to pop off of here a little bit. Just trying to see where I should fit them. Keep moving them around. Yes, I wanted one for in here too. Ooh, I think the yellow. Maybe I should have put, oh, I'm gonna put the yellow one up here. Yeah, here's me ripping stuff up again. I swear, I barely ever do this because I barely ever commit until I'm like got everything done. And I'm gonna put the orange one here. I think that's just better placement because now we've got like that little bit, the yellow here, you kind of draw your eye across. The orange one here, oh, that's good. And that one's too pale. Okay. Cool. That's good. No, I don't like that one either. Yay. Okay. So this is good. This page, I think, like other than the journaling, which I will add after, because like sitting here watching me journal would be like torture, I think. Got a little bit of that there. I keep wanting to put one over here and I'm just not liking when I try it. Cool. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna hold that up so you can have a look and see how that looks. Got my little story quote and I've got my title, I've got my space for my journaling. You think the journaling joy, that's awful. She says, not as bad as watching you sew. Yeah, I think journaling might be a little less painful than watching me sew. Oh, I think my phone died or quit or something. That's too bad. But we'll see. See what that looks like later. Cool. So that one is done, or I'm calling that one done for now. I'm gonna pop that up here. And that means that it is time for our draw. Yay. We have 37 people. Woo, guys, that's like the most. Last time was most, and this time is the most again. So let's have a look here. And 37, it counts me. So that means 36. And if this thing is not recording, I can definitely use it to, oh yeah, it told me my storage is full. I was wondering, I downloaded a bunch of podcasts recently and I've been working through them, but apparently not fast enough. The random number generator, that's what I'm looking for. Random number generator. So 36. I'm trying to scroll. My kids stole my mouse again. I have no scroll ability. This is not ideal. Where did they put my mouse? There's another one over there. I wonder if that one has a scroll thing. Sorry, guys. Oh, this one's cordless. I wonder if it attaches. I actually have like a super fancy, oh, here it is. Super fancy mouse. Does this one work? Oh boy. It's supposed to be paired to this computer. It's not working. I can't scroll through the list because there's no scroll bar on this mouse and there's no scroll thing on the side. This is not good. Come on. I swear. Teenage kids are as much pain as little babies sometimes. Let's see if I can pair up my mouse to make it go with here. If I figure this out, like I'll get like major gold stars for this when I tell you. Figuring out tech problems. Come on. It says Alice's mouse. It's not connected, but it's giving me the wheel, so it's thinking about it. It says maybe we can connect Alice's mouse. Come on. And I have this here. Come on. Oh boy, I've never had this. I didn't realize that my mouse didn't work. Yeah, there's a scroll bar on this part, but there's not a scroll bar on the part to get through it. How are you going to put my page into a page protector? That's a great question. So I think for this, I probably will just pop it into a page protector and not have you be able to flip through that. I'm going to have to see, but sometimes I actually cut like a window so that you can actually still flip the stuff, even though like I just cut the page protector. So that's definitely an option. I'm cool with either one. Did the mouse thing work? No. Okay, no gold star for me. The mouse doesn't work. I wonder if it's dead because, you know, they borrowed it, right? And they took my mouse, which is why I got stuck with the not working mouse. Oh, man. Okay, let me try again. There's a different Bluetooth mouse here, but this one is I think this one has batteries. Oh, it teased me. I bumped the wrong one. Okay, can I get a helper? Allison or somebody, could you do a random number thing for me? I just can't scroll through the list. Oh, maybe that's not gonna help because I can't scroll through the list to see who wins. This is super awful. Okay, I've got the random number thing. That's not the problem. It's the scrolling through the list. Can anybody else, like, can you see the list of the participants? Or is that just me that can actually see that? Let's see here. I'm trying to click on the wrong one. Allison says, I think I can. We'll all be first in our own lists. Yeah, but that's okay as long as Sue says she can see the list. Okay, Sue, I'm gonna do up a random number and I'll get you to count to see like who is our winner. Otherwise I have to put like names into a bucket and that takes a while. I know this took a while, but I think that that's gonna be the best way for me to go about doing this. A random number between 1 and 36. Thanks for your patience. I really appreciate that. This totally done. Generate. So the number is 27. So you have to scroll down a bit and see. So Sue says she won't count you and me. Well, you can count you. You're here too. But 27 is the magical number. So Sue, on your count, because I can't scroll, and you've been my helper with loads, so I'll have you be my helper for this, and you can tell me and maybe type in the chat and let us know who our winner is today. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I will make sure that I don't have that problem again. And yeah, I'll get her to share our winner in the box, number 27. Yeah, that was the number that came up for the random number generator. Michelle's iPad. Michelle's iPad, you are the winner of the kit from the Wild Hare Kits. And that means that to claim your prize, you just need to message me at alice@alicebowl.com. I can type that into the chat, alice@alicebowl.com. And make sure you include your mailing address for me, because I will send you the cutouts of the book, and let me know if you want it done with like white paper or with vellum. So congrats, yay. And yeah, and then I will pass on your information to Allison Girling. You'll have to set up your own style profile so that you get your own kit of things that you pick yourself too. So that's the plan, yay. Thanks for your patience and thanks for the help. So sometimes, it takes a community. Perfect. Okay, well, I'm just gonna crash some stuff here, and then I'm going to actually work on a pocket page. So I do a monthly pocket spread in my kind of project lifestyle album, and I like having those monthly pages to kind of keep track of all the things that I've had, just the stuff that I wouldn't maybe scrapbook. So I think that that's a really fun way to kind of keep track of the event kind of stuff, because I tend to tell more stories and not necessarily focus on the events anymore. Like, it's so funny because when I started scrapbooking, it was completely the opposite way. Everything was based on the events and I barely told any stories. And now I've gone full circle and I do it completely different. No, I've gone halfway around the circle, I guess, because I'm doing it completely different. But yeah, it's, but then I was noticing that I was leaving out a lot of important events, and like, it's not, they just weren't the stories that I wanted to tell, but that didn't mean that they weren't, I just didn't want to make 12 by 12 pages for them. So I had to find a way to kind of get through that problem. And the method that I chose was to go to pocket scrapbooking. Okay, pop that in there. I'm gonna move this down. Okay, and to do that, let's see here. Here's my pocket pages from last month. Let's put these back. So to do the pages and to make it as easy on myself as possible, because that's really the goal here, right? Make it easy on yourself. I just use whatever pictures I kind of have on hand. If I know that I need something else, I can leave a spot where I can go back to print something. And so for my pages last month, it was very pink and lovey and stuff. I've got stuff about my son's swim meet that he went to. I've got some stuff about my other son's birthday in here. Oh, there must be a picture that I was going to print in there because I don't have words and I did all the words. So, and then I've got another page with more details and more words, and it's mostly about his birthday party. Really, like February was all about going to swim meets. So I've got 2 things with 2 different swim meets. I've got 2 more for March. It's been the story of our life lately, but I think that it's good to kind of get to see some of that. And would I make a layout about every swim meet we go to? No, I wouldn't. But can I put like a 4x6 spot in a pocket page? Yeah, that I can do. Like that's possible, right? Like it's like taking it to a spot where it is doable and manageable. So one thing I always do is I always have one page that has horizontal, like 4x6s, and then the opposite page to it, sorry, I shouldn't have put that away so fast. The opposite page to it has vertical 4x6s. And sometimes I use the ones with little 4x6, like the 3x4s, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what pattern I kind of pick for the day. Oh, back over there. And yeah, so I'm working on the back of my February one for March. So I already have one that is horizontal. And so I just need one now that is vertical pages. And they're in my rolling folder that I have over here. So I need one that is vertical, either partially vertical or I guess I can have a look and see. So the pictures that I have for March, and of course March isn't over, which means that I missed some stuff, but I just can't worry about that, right? Some things are going to get missed and I just have to be okay with that. I had a super fun event and I don't know if I've shared many, I shared on Instagram. So super fun thing that happened is that my friend Jill from ScrapHappy came up to Edmonton and she was going to some events with her husband and we went for lunch. We went to this sweet little cafe on White Ave called Block 1912. So this was my lovely dessert that I had there with my lovely drink. Like, oh my gosh, like how beautiful was that? And then the same morning, my son wrote his SAT, which we don't normally have to do here in Canada, but he did his so that he could potentially open doors to maybe going to the States. Actually, he just got his results back, and I think they're okay. I don't know. I think they're okay. I don't think they're like, wow, amazing. He said, like, I ran out of time on everything. He says there was always not enough time. He's like, I could do all the questions, but I took pictures of the doors, like SAT in progress, so I thought that was kind of fun to include. And then after he had done his SAT in the morning, we met for lunch, and then we went to the ice castle in Edmonton, and oh my gosh, guys, it was amazing. So here's a picture of my son in front of the ice castle. You can see all of this stuff back here. That's all ice, and then it's like amazing inside. For example, they've got this little cavern part that you can do pictures in, and you can look up, and it's just all icicles above your head. Absolutely, like so cool. The color, that was the actual color that was there. So will I do a page about this? Yes. Have I done one yet? Not yet. So I think that having this will be great. Perfect. Thanks, Michelle. She's already sending me the info, which is perfect. It's good to do it right then. So yeah, I have pictures of Jill and I there. I also took a video. They have some slides made out of ice in the ice castle. So that was super fun. So I have video of that. And I'm going to include a QR code on the page. So I do have several photos that are vertical. So when I was looking at my box here, I have them labeled like 12 by 12, 4 vertical, 12 by 12, 3 vertical at the top, 12 by 12, all vertical. And so they're labeled in that way so that I can kind of pick the ones that kind of fit with what I'm looking for. Christy says, those are good pictures as they have bold blue color popping out. Oh, yeah. And the ice, it totally looks that color. Like I didn't have to, I'm really not big into editing photos that much. Sometimes I'll do a picture in PicTap Go, but like these, I totally didn't. And Jill sent me her photo. She had like a real camera with her, whereas I'm like using my cell phone. So I really love that her husband had taken this picture of us taking this picture. Like, how fun is that? Like, that's so fun. Yeah, and we went on the very last day of the season. We didn't know it was the last day till we got there. And they're like, yeah, this is the last day. Oh, okay. Like, glad we made it today. Oh, I'm gonna have to get some more of these sheets. So I think I'll go with like an all vertical format again, because I can always put smaller pieces and break up one pocket, but you know, I don't like to cut pictures to put them into two pockets. Allison says it's been fun, but she's got to run. Yeah, that's what happens when, you know, you have a busy life. I'm so glad you could be here for today. So I'm going to figure out like a good layout. And I think this one where it's like our picture and us taking our picture, I think I'd like to layer that and kind of put something fun inside and put that on a pocket, like a little flip flap. Picture of my son at the ice castle. Also this month I wanted to include something about the swimming, so I have to make sure I have that. That's going to be a video, and maybe I'll take a still picture from the video, but I didn't even think to do that ahead of time. So I'll just put something for swimming, and I'll leave one pocket for swimming stuff, and that'll be enough. So that's going to represent my swimming. And we also had celebrated my dad's birthday. So he turned 70 and we all got together for my dad's birthday. So that's going in here too. Other than that, it was mostly like, you know, some of the monotony of life. And, you know, I've covered that in different ways from time to time. So I don't feel like that I have to show me driving in the car to more swim practices or something like that. It doesn't happen all the time, like where I show that, but you know, it's always happening. But I think that, you know, as long as it's represented from time to time, that's all good. Okay, so this is good. And let's have a look and see what I have for these actual cards. These ones are sideways cards. I love the blue in these photos, and these are not really, these papers, I don't know if they have a lot of blue. We do have some beautiful cameras, which I love. We do have some blue here actually. So I think the papers that I have here will be fine to work with. If I have to add another sheet in here, that's totally fine too. I just love this little chameleon that's in this box of crayons. And the stores that I've been to 3 scrapbook stores. I went shopping this month, and none of those stores had that box of crayons papers, or at least if they did, it was hiding and I didn't see it, or people had been there and picked it all up already, which all of the above is possible. So I don't have that paper yet, but I want to use this cute little chameleon on here. So that's gonna happen. Hold on a second. This is bigger than a 4x6. Oh, it totally is. I'm gonna have to trim that down a little bit because that, like looking at this, I'm like, that should be a 4x6, but it's bigger. So it's gonna have to be trimmed to fit into the pocket. Okay. Perfect. Is it 6 inches wide? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I just need to take off a little bit of the top and bottom. It's good to go. And I love this camera paper. And it has like this nice green for the back, which is very neutral, but I want to use as much of this as possible. Let's be real, I'm probably not going to use the moths for this side, but you know, that's okay too. And actually using this paper is great because it has like the green and some blue with it. What do I need? I need to have at least 2 pieces of vertical. So we'll pop that through here. And I don't really pre-plan them out. I kind of print off the photos that I want to use. And from there, I just kind of work with what I have. When I have too many photos, totally happens. When I have too many photos, I tend to use the flip flaps to just add more. Sometimes I'll add smaller pages in, or I can add other sizes. So, you know, it might be like a 6x8 page that I'll add into the thing, or I do have some skinnier 12-inch pieces, like 12 inches that are miscellaneous width. So, you know, this one here isn't as wide as a 12-inch. So I might put that in between if there's like lots of really cool things going on or something. Chrissy says, I love that paper. I would hate to cover it up. And Jacqueline says, my local scrapbook store got it in. I bought a sheet of the chameleons. I know, I need to get my hands on that chameleon paper. And yeah, like I don't know exactly what I'm doing with it yet, but something will come to me. Ooh, I like the bright idea thing. And there's like a little hello. I don't know if that's my thing. Ooh, I like this yellow. If you guys know, I just love yellow. It's funny. I like pink. I like yellow. I use lots of teal. I just like colors. Let's be real. Ooh. So now I kind of have a little dilemma on this page. I can cut it to use different sections of color. And just depending on what I need here, I guess. But I think this will look good because this tealy color is going to be a large section of this. Perfect. Cool. So that's going to go in here. I don't know if I will use this color or the darker blue, but I can use that with my swimming. That'll be perfect for my swimming stuff. Cool. So I've got that. This can go with my swimming. I'll pretend that's like my photos / journaling. I don't really have photos as much as I have videos. And I wanted to share some of the videos because I was so excited. My son actually qualified to go to the Western Canadian Championships. So we do that in April. We fly out to Victoria, BC. It's just for one event. He only qualified for one event, which was a little sad, but he kind of was not having the best swimming weekend ever, let's just say. And when he actually qualified to go to that meet, it was very exciting. I think I'd like to cut these 2 pictures apart and put them on separate cards. So I think that's what I'm going to do here next, so that I can do the SAT story kind of right beside the photo, and then I can have the talk of the lunch stuff separately too. Okay. So once I kind of have this all figured out and how things are kind of going to sit, then I can think about somewhere on here, probably on this sheet up here, I'm thinking I want to have the word March on here. I don't know if I have a specific thing. Maybe I'll use a stamp this time for the word March. I think that might be a way to go. Overall, this is looking pretty good. Oh, I will need another vertical piece for in here for when I flip that up. Ooh, I can use some of this photo paper for when we're taking funny photos. So that would be good. Be good if I could bring a little bit more of that photos. I might cut out some of the cameras or something to put as little decorations on something else if I want to bring a little bit more of that in. Cool. So that's going to happen here. This will flip. This will tell stories about that. I've got space for journaling, space for all the photos and stories. Look how easy that was. That was great. That was great. I can't believe how quickly this went together. Like, I literally did no pre-planning. I just printed off some of the photos that I really liked. So I'm just gonna pop this into pockets right now, and I can show you kind of how it's sitting. And from there, I'll start with a little bit of embellishment that I know that I wanna include. But the papers worked out really nicely. So this is gonna go into here. And I need some pockets. Flip flap pocket. Really fun. There we go. Try to keep those handy because I use them all the time. And okay, this goes here. And I can put like, you know, some more words and whatever in there. But for now, I can pop it in just as it is. This will flip up. Now, have you guys seen these? I know, like, if you've been here before, you probably have because I love them. These ones are from Close to My Heart. They're super easy to use. I'm not a Close to My Heart person anymore, but they're a product that I fell in love with. So I just pulled that strip off. I'm going to line this up where I want it to be above the other one and stick it on. Make sure it's lined up. And that's how easy that was. So I've got space for journaling and extra stories. I'm going to put together a video with all the pictures and the videos that I took at this at the ice castle. So I'll include the QR code on one of these. And I have pictures. I've got the cute little picture paper, and you know, I'd like to put some kind of little snarky comment about, you know, how I love taking pictures. Honoré says, I'm totally amazed that you know where everything is. Sorta. Sorta. Yeah, that worked out really good. And now for this side, I'll stick the photos in here. Let's see. Lay these out. To put them in on the opposite side of the paper, right? Because that one and this one. Patience. Okay, so that's good. This is the swimming story, so it's still gonna go there. And I want to put the SAT story on this side. So I think I'll work on that SAT card next. And there. So if this had like a blue outline around it, I think I would like it a little bit more to fit with this paper. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm actually going to cut the red off kind of and put this onto a blue background just so it kind of fits in and doesn't feel like I'm pulling a different color story onto the page, right? Tina says, I have them too. I don't use them as often as you, but I like to see the inspiration you provide using them. And I just find like it just makes it so that I don't have as many difficult decisions to make when I'm putting together a pocket page, because I can just choose to use an extra photo, or I have a place where I can hide some journaling that's not so pretty or something like that. So it lets me build a page more in the style that I like without having to compromise. Oh my gosh, I've almost forgot. I have these adorable sequins. Oh, you know what I can do is I can make one of these flaps. I'm totally gonna do this now. I'm gonna add a page protector. with some sequins over top and have like a little bit of rainy bits. And I wonder if I have like some little snowflakes that I can put into one of these as well with the cute little sequins. And I think that would just be cute over top of like, you know, like a journaling kind of box or whatever, just a way to make it a little bit prettier. So I think that'll be fun. So I'm gonna dump some of these in. I think I'm just gonna dump them right into the pocket. I'm gonna take a look for some little snowflakes to see if I can find some little snowflake pieces. And then I'm just gonna use my fuse tool to seal up that pocket. But it's gonna be fun because you'll be able to lift it up and play with it, and you know, that's always fun. So yeah, super cute. Okay, and the colors are just so right with the teals and everything. So that's the thing. You know, I saw somebody talk one day about why would you get a custom curated kit? This is exactly why. Like, look at this sequin pack and how it matches these papers like 100% perfectly. Like, it's the perfect match to go with this page. So now I can make this page. I sit down, all of my products are coordinating, and I can just scrapbook and make my layouts, right? Like, you saw how easy that page went together because I've got these products that kind of go together, but it's not all necessarily from one lines, and I didn't have to do like that trying to find sequins that match with this and trying to find some paper and trying to find embellishments to go with it. And sometimes when you do that, you end up with like only one line of products because you're like, well, I don't know what's all going to fit. But this lets you kind of have everything ready to go, so you just sit down and create. And that's part of why I love using the kits so much. Fuse tool. I think I moved it back to the side. And I need to find some, oh, where's the, okay. There we go. So we plug the fuse in. It's got to sit for like 10 minutes or something to heat up, so that's fine. In the meantime, I can try to find some snowflakes. I'm trying to think of the best place for me to find snowflakes. Ooh. I think I have some in a really old thing. You want to see this old container that I have? Okay. This is a tool case that I had for, oh, it was like one of my very first organizing tools. I was so proud of it. So excited. It still has like most of my original stuff in it too, which is extra funny. You want to see where I was at back in the day? But there's things I can't seem to get rid of because I've done like super fun projects with my eyelets. So how do you get rid of them? Like, they can do like the funnest little things. So I still have my container, and in this container I have like those really old kind of pain in the butt punches, but look at this little snowflake. And I know I don't have another one like in my, you know, nice punches. So I've got this one, and I've got some leftover bits of vellum right here. So I'm gonna punch out some little snowflakes to stick in here. And oh yeah, it works. Oh, kind of works. Oh, there it does. But you know, a few of these, and then I've got some glitter paper that I had sitting around here recently, and it would be the perfect Oh, I thought I chucked it in that box. Oh, here it is. It's still sitting here. Okay, So I've got some glitter paper that's sitting here from, actually I cut out a tag for my planner the other day with that glitter paper. So this is perfect. Just a few little pieces of snowflake to stick into there. This color is perfect with this paper. I think that, you know, you don't need a lot to make this kind of stuff work so good. I need more than 4, but you know, it's okay. Okay. The glitter paper is a little thicker. I don't know how many of these I'll get to punch. Oh, yeah, this is like awful thumb punch. Anybody else still have these awful little thumb punches? I'll pop it in here quick before I lose it. Where's, oh, my hammer is there. Good. Come on. I might be in the end of that. Honor said she still has them. I think I might be done with them if I can't get this thing to pop back. Not much sense in having a punch that doesn't punch. Oh well, I got a few snowflakes out of it. I do have one big snowflake punch, so I'll grab that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now I don't know if this little chunk of glitter is big enough for this. Hilarious. Totally not coming out. Oh, perfect. Super lucky, guys. It still doesn't like to punch even with this glitter paper. Have to hold it up from the desk, otherwise it won't pop out. I don't think there's any way that this thing is going to pop out of there. I think it is done. It is stuck. Okay. There we go. So I'm calling that good. And then I'm calling this done. I think I just decluttered, guys. I decluttered. Because this thing isn't going to come apart. But I do have a lovely snowflake now to stick in there. Oh, so cute. With my glitters. And that's going to be lovely. Okay, I'm calling that good. So little bits. Is there anything else that should go in there before I, ooh. Look at this. I'm so glad I looked. These are from Studio Katya. Oh, Lauren, you've got something to share. Oh, awesome. Can we hear you too? Oh no, you can totally screen share. That's totally fine. We love to see if you got stuff that you want to share. That's awesome. Yeah, so I actually just found these little snowflakes. They're like little miniature tiny ones. They're from Studio Katya. And I'm just gonna dump some of those in here too. Perfect. Well, that became really lucky. And they just like look like little bits of icing. Okay, now I've got this and my fuse. I wonder if this is hot enough. I think so. Let's should probably have a mat or something underneath this, right? Okay, done. You can actually kind of see it as it melts. So I've closed off the pocket with the fuse. So now these things are in there. The back of them is white, which is totally fine. And yeah, got this sweet little pocket to stick on here with my lovely little pieces. There we go. That goes on. So now I have my little flap, and this is out there, and my picture is ready to go. Okay, so I think that's my plan. I'm going to cut the red off here. I'm going to mat it on some blue. I'm going to add my stories to this, and I will take pictures and I will put that up on the replay so that everything is up there. Also on the replay, I'll see if my video that I was trying to film turned out at all. We'll see if I can get that to happen. I'll also share the link to Chamel's booth at Creativation with her box of crayons, and I can share my post about mixing pattern papers because that'd be fun. So Chelsea says, thank you for my first scrapbook live. The little man is up from the nap and she's out. Perfect. So I think that's going to be it. I got some decluttering done, some destashing done because that thing is done. I was able to get some more snowflakes out. This is super cute. So I'll share some photos of the layouts that are completed. Thank you for your assistance with the awesome titling and for, you know, surviving my lovely stitching on the other layout. I think it went really well today. So that was the first one. And then the other one here, I can hold up this page, but the other one is got too many pieces. So this is the other page. I think that's great. And yeah, thank you for being here. If you like what you saw and you're thinking, hey, this would be fun to hang out more, the ScrapHappy family is the group that I host online. We do different activities every month, and one of them, like several gals that are here that I knew, I know through the ScrapHappy family. It's at scraphappy.org. And it's just a great place to connect with other scrapbookers. We have big load challenges 3 times a year. We have one coming up in May, and we just released our theme. It's all about meme. It's going to be prompts based off of internet memes. Super fun. I'm really excited about it. It's something that I've really been looking forward to. And, you know, so maybe if you're thinking, I don't know about the ScrapHappy thing, come check out Load. That will go on sale April 1st. And then, you know, often that's where you come and you're like, okay, let's give the ScrapHappy group a try and see what that's all about. So I just want to let you know that it's out there, and there's like no pressure from here. I'll be doing this again next month. I have to kind of see what my son's swim schedule is, but it'll be later into the month, hopefully on a Saturday. So thank you so much for being here, for scrapbooking with me, and I really love it. So if you were scrapbooking with me today, and if you share on Instagram, use the hashtag either ScrapHappyFamily, hashtag Scrapbook Live. Actually, if you use Scrapbook Live, I'll see your pages, and I'd love to comment and follow you on Instagram. Oh, yay. Honore says, agreed, it's the best way to get to know ScrapHappy via the load months. Oh my gosh, yes. She's brand new to our group, so that's awesome. And Sue says, what a super fun group to hang out with. And she shared the link. It's at scraphappy.org, not .com, it's .org. We are an organization of scrapbookers. And Tina says, it's an awesome group. So there we go. We got lots of people. Kathy says, thanks, Alice. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And that's what I hope for you too, is that you enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you get some crafty time to yourself. And if not, then I'm glad that you were able to get some in with me today. So thank you so much. And I'll say bye. Okay, bye guys, and hope to see you next month.